What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Humble Minds Podcast. We're your hosts, Balmer and AJ, and today we're taking it back. We're calling this one Growing Up in the 90s. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. Being a 90's kid, I'm gonna make a lot of people mad with this one right here, but I feel like if you born in like 97, 98, 99, you ain't really a 90's kid. 96, you kind of sliding by 96.
Barely.
But yeah, just barely. But you feel me? I just feel like if you was born in the 90's in general, I just feel like you got like the best of like both worlds. Like you can tap in with the new generation, but you also can relate to the older generation. And I just feel like our generation is like unique.
Yeah.
Like we seen the advancement, like the evolution of technology, like phones and stuff like that, like on the Blackberries, Virgin mobile phones, like the sidekicks and all that stuff.
That was a hit. I always say that, we're the bridge between the old school and the new school.
Facts.
And I think that you spot on because I could remember before it's, technology, before, us even having phones. It was, going outside to play. It was, spending time with family, learning, little skills here and there. And now it's not like that anymore, you know. And I definitely hold dear to those times, man. I'm super nostalgic. So you're gonna see me, still doing some of the things that we did in the 90s, man. But we definitely had some hits in the 90s, bro. And I definitely it's cool to go down memory lane. So let me get it started with some questions, bro. So what are some of the things that I guess you were doing in the 90s as far as like what was a typical Saturday morning for you in the 90s?
Okay, Saturday mornings, like nostalgic moment right here. I'm literally waking up, going to my grandma's house. She making breakfast, and we watching Saturday cartoons. Like we watching Power Rangers.
Yep.
Like my grandma was like that grandma. Like we watching Power Rangers. Like she likes watching it. Like so we watching Power Rangers. We watching anything, man. I've been on watching Digimon and stuff like that.
Right,
so
yeah.
it was like all the old shows that used to come out. She wasn't really like into like the whole Nickelodeon thing.
Okay.
But like more so like her favorite thing was like Power Rangers. So like
Dope.
that was like my favorite thing on Saturdays. Like literally just spending time with her.
That's what's up. Something similar for me, bro. Because I was born and raised in New York. I came here, I think probably in like the early 2000s when I moved to Virginia for the first time. But I can remember, growing up, I would get up every Saturday morning and make a bowl of cereal, and I'm in front of the TV, and I'm watching, shows like you said. I would watch Power Rangers. I would watch, some of my favorites was Rocket Power.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch Cat Dog on Nickelodeon. So I was on Nickelodeon, but I kind of had my shows for every station.
Yeah.
So you would flip through the channels at different times to catch different shows. So I could definitely remember that, man. A time where my grandma too. Everybody knows I'm super close to my grandma as well, and even when I was at her house, dude, it was just great memories. Good food, family, and as I get older, I was thinking about this the other day. It saddens me a little bit that the people that we had back then or that were around, they're getting older now.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. So I definitely try to make the best of all the time that I have with those folks and stuff as well. So
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of different. I don't know. So to me, as I got older, and of course, like my grandma and them got older and stuff like that, it seemed like everybody is like more relaxed and just enjoying life. Cause like
you know why that is though?
Wow.
I thought about this the other day. So we take on the responsibility a lot.
That's true.
Right? So they're kind of like our kids now. And I noticed it with my grandma, with my mom, and stuff like that. It used to be, I could remember, being a little kid, holding their hand, them doing all the talking. Now they don't even have to open their mouth. Now it's on us. Really, we we're the problem solvers in the family. So
yeah, my family, like the older they get, the more they party.
Yo, shout out to them, bro.
The older they get, the more they party. So like it's just like those moments, like now, like just realizing all they did for me back then, and then now it's just like whenever we get together, it's just a party, one big party.
Yeah, no, and that's super special, man. Do you ever feel like you can never repay, what they do for you, so you try to do every little thing you can for them?
Yeah, but I don't think you can ever like repay back like what my grandma did for me.
Yeah,
So
no,
I don't,
same.
well, I don't think I could ever repay that back. It's just that they they made me who I am today.
Right.
Besides all the other stuff that went on in my life, but them two like
Yeah.
raised me, so it's like nah. But like man, yo, like, and then just times are just different. Like from growing up back then and growing up now, like times are just different. Like even like I was born in '94, so like even though by the time I was 4, it was like 1998 and stuff like that, I still had like the '90s like instilled in me. Like I still
Right.
listen to '90s music. Like I grew up on like. Well, people know it a lot. I love R and
Old school
B
R&B.
more than I love like rap. Like
No
if you know
doubt.
me now, then you know I love melodic stuff a lot
Oh.
over just straight rap.
Yeah.
So like I was like a R&B kid growing up, and it's just that, bro. Like things is like so different with kids now. It's like back then I would wake up in the morning. This is another thing about Saturday morning. I would wake up. No, like summertime, out of school, weekday. They used to do free lunch at the school.
Okay.
Free lunch, free breakfast. So I would wake up, go eat breakfast. Then we go behind the school and we go behind Chambers, the elementary school. We play baseball until it's time for lunch.
So
After lunch, we go into the front of the school. We playing football until everybody get tired of playing football or somebody get the fine. Literally 10 minutes later, everybody back friends. We going to play basketball.
dope.
So it was like
It sounds like the Olympics, bro.
bro. I'm telling. This was like a Monday. This was a Monday through Monday through Friday. Sometimes Saturday, unless people was like we got into sports and stuff like that, recreational sports, and we had games and stuff like that. But this was like a everyday thing in the summer.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, that's so. I guess now it's kind of like, do you kind of try to instill like some of the stuff that we were doing in your kids nowadays, or no?
It's hard because I can do that, but it's like where the other kids that y'all age for y'all to play with.
Yeah.
Like I can be like, yo, y'all go outside and play. Back then our moms used to be like, hey, go outside.
That makes sense.
Like
yeah.
y'all need to go outside.
Yeah.
And like if you come in and out the houses, oh no, get your outside. Like don't be back and forth into my house.
No doubt.
Type
Yeah.
thing. So like we was like forced to go outside. But we enjoyed going outside playing like cops and robbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like now it's like it's not many kids outside. So if I send my kids outside, it's like y'all just outside. And then like my kids is such an age gap. So
That is true. Yeah. That's cool, man. I was talking to Gabby earlier in the week, and as we were talking about what we were gonna do this week, I started getting super nostalgic, and I was like, babe, what we need to start doing on Saturdays is get up and watching cartoons and stuff like that, just for old time's sake. But I definitely that's super important, and I know for you and for us for Gabby, we don't let the kids use technology that much too, because we want them to make sure that they stimulate their mind in other ways and stuff like that too. So
yeah.
I think that's always been super important. But some more questions. What were some of your top movies that you was watching when you was growing up in that era?
Okay, so one of my favorite movies of all time. There got to be like kid stuff, or it can be like
No, anything.
All right, so one of my favorite movies of all time, like that I'd have seen, was like The Wood.
Okay.
If you ever seen that, it's a historically black movie in the black community. You feel me? But I'm pretty sure you probably seen. We used to watch that in school.
No doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we used to literally watch it in school at the end of school years. Like you said, I was big on Digimon.
Yep.
I was big on Pokemon. Movies, Rugrat movies, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I watched like a bunch of stuff coming up. So, but I always fell back on like Disney Channel and stuff like
Same,
that.
bro. That's what's up. And you know it's crazy. Like even to this day, like I go back and I look at some of that stuff because some of my favorites were like the Mighty Ducks. That was one of my favorite
Little
series.
Giants,
The Little Giants.
Sandlot.
Yep.
Sandlot
So
was probably like, yeah, I'd take it. Besides the Wood, if I was to go to like a kids type movie,
Yep.
Sandlot was probably my favorite movie of all time.
So that Disney era, bro, was like elite. So another one of
Yeah.
my favorite movies back then was The First Kid. I don't know if you remember that. It was like where it was the president's kid.
Was it
and
Sinbad?
Sinbad was in
Sinbad
it.
was in. Okay, yeah.
So, bro, that was one of my favorite movies. I know I watched that thing so many times, bro. But
I've seen that about 4 or 5 times.
yeah, it was so dope. Space Jam, one of my favorites as well. Definitely, you know, top
Yeah, bro.
tier.
It's like it's so many, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know what's crazy about Space Jam? I was thinking about it the other day, and it's like why I took a liking to it was yes, it was a kids movie, yes, it was, but it was like that was before social media. So we really, besides seeing Michael Jordan in the games and stuff like that, and maybe an interview here or there, that's the first time you really got to see him outside of that. You know what I mean? So it was pretty cool for me. And you know, I've always been a Jordan head and stuff like that. So it definitely we saw a different side of him, and that's why that was one of my favorite movies. But talking about Jordan, and I thought about this too. You know how with us, right? Like Jordans is gonna be part of our wardrobe probably until the day we die, right?
yeah.
But what about our kids? Do you think that they're being drawn to the Jordans, or is it something that we're pushing on them because of that's like the stuff that we know?
I think Jordan's just gonna be one of them things that can withstand this test of time.
Yeah.
But I feel like now I don't feel like okay. I feel like Jordans to us was like a lifestyle shoe.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's hold that much weight and like, oh, you gotta wear Jordans right now. Cause like I said on the other podcast, I could buy my son Jordans, but he gonna still throw it on them Crocs. He'll throw on Crocs 4 days out the week and then wear his Jordans on Friday.
Yeah.
Feel me? So it's like, and then that's just like 'cause a lot of people like I don't know why, but a lot of people like Rick Owens now.
Oh, the Converse looking ones.
Yeah, so it's they Converses, but just Crocs, Rick Owens, and then like just the other shoes like Nikes, Asics, all that.
New Balance.
I feel like it's more of a variety now. Like back then, like Jordans was like, yeah, you gotta have Jordans or some type of Nikes.
Yeah, no doubt. I probably didn't get my first pair of Jordans until like 2003, 2004 is the first time I ever got some Jordans, which were the Mellows. That was my first Jordans too. So ironic enough. So
I'm not gonna lie, I had Jordans, but I stopped getting Jordans because I didn't really care for it. Like once I got older, I stopped getting Jordans. But then once I got like out of school on my own, like own crib, all that stuff, making my own money and stuff like that. I don't know why, but I just picked them back up and started buying them more.
Yeah. Like I said, they super nostalgic. And for me, for a long time, I didn't want to wear a lot of the new colorways because I was such a, they call it a purist, right? That just the retro models that came out when he was playing and stuff, or the stuff that he wore. It's kind of the only stuff that I was kind of wearing. But as time went on, it's been some dope colorways that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to try these out, and so. That's but I was always curious about that because I'm like, as everybody's style evolves, I'm like, I'm wondering if everybody's gonna wear Jordans, forever, or is obviously they're gonna be around forever, but it's not the same as it used to be back in the day because we were lining up for them, where I'm from.
Yeah.
We were lining up for them, and just that excitement, that thrill of getting the new Jordans. I don't see like that's really a thing no more. Plus, you got like GOAT, StockX, and stuff like that where you can get them from.
Yeah, I think that's why though, because they so accessible.
Yeah, that makes.
So that's why. Like back then, it was like you said, you had people standing in line. Yeah. Now it's like, yeah, if somebody's standing in line, they probably trying to get 4 or 5 pair of them shoes
no
to
doubt.
resell.
Just to resell, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I get it. I get why it's not as like what's the word I'm looking for? Like the main thing no more.
Yeah. So I think another thing too during that era, we were playing a lot of video games. I know my first game was my mom got me a Sega Genesis. So the first game I ever played was Street Fighter. So that was my first game. But some of my favorites that I grew up playing too was like, and this was crazy because this one had me in a chokehold, and I didn't even know anything about skateboarding, but it was the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That thing had me in a chokehold. So I was, I definitely want to go. They got it re-released it, so I definitely want to go back and get it. But that I was playing. Obviously, I have my Game Boy Color, so I was playing a lot of Pokemon Blue. And
I had Red.
Did you? Yeah,
bro. You know what? You want to know the craziest part about? I don't know if it was like just the game, but it was your Game Boy either dying or you turning it off and you lose all your progress.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
I was like, bro, I think it had a save up there, but mine never saved. And I was like so into it that I re-upload it. You get to pick like between Squirtle,
Bulbasaur,
and Charmander.
Yep.
And I used to always pick Charmander.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, it was like, but then games evolved, and you could say, but going back like farther than that, I was like, the OG Sonic on Sega.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Mortal Kombat on Sega. That was like, yo, till this day, I only play with Scorpion. I only play with him.
He was top tier back then.
Whether people know it or not, the whole get over here, it's the same. It's back and whatever. Yeah. It's the same, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I played Mortal Kombat probably like last year or something. Last year or year before last.
The new one though, or you went back?
It was like the newer one.
Okay.
And that's when I found out because I was playing somebody and they was spamming. So I was like, well, I'm gonna pick Scorpion. And then I know no moves. I haven't played Mortal Kombat forever. I hit that back square or back circle or whatever it was, and I spammed it.
So I was telling you, we need to have an old school game night. Because I still have all those games.
Okay.
So I have the Sega, I have the Nintendo 64, I have the GameCube, I have like a whole bunch of that stuff. I'll show you before you leave. But that's why, I was like, yo, because I just found it like a few weeks ago, and I'm like, yo, this is pretty dope. And I still got a whole bunch of, the old games that, were the top tier for us. So it's pretty dope.
One more game that's like, and then we can move on from this. Nintendo 64. James Bond.
007? That was on my list. Yep.
That was like
Call of Duty before
Call of Duty. Call of Duty before Call of Duty,
Yep.
bro. And it was like no online.
Yep.
So it was like you get your friends, 4 controllers, y'all go at it.
Yep.
Whoever was if y'all got more than 4 friends in the room, whoever did the worst, gotta get the controller up.
Give it up, yep.
But yeah, that was like
that was one of my top tier games too. But for the 64, also Pokemon Stadium was one of mine too. Because that was the first time we saw it like on TV.
The big screen,
so
that was hard.
That was a really good game. But outside of the consoles, I used to go to the laundromat with my grandma because every weekend over there you go wash clothes because in the apartments you don't have washing machines and dryers. So they had Marvel vs. Capcom. So I would every Saturday my grandma would give me a whole bunch of quarters so I can go play while she's washing clothes. And that was one of my favorite games was Marvel vs. Capcom. It was
bro, they need to
bring that back
games.
out. Yeah.
Make more games like the OG games.
But you know how I know that that was like the peak time? Because a bunch of the shows and everything that we grew up, they revamp it now.
Yeah.
So that's how I know it's like, okay, this was like top tier stuff because now you're revamping it to try to re-engage the people. Like Rugrats, they redoing it. They did like a whole bunch of shows too. So
yeah,
it's pretty dope.
With me, I would never watch them now.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, okay.
Like I'll never watch them now.
Oh,
the revamps. Yeah. I would never watch them.
Yeah, I know they tried it with the Powerpuff Girls, and obviously I got into it a little bit just for for nostalgia's sake. But yeah, man, I mean, it's never gonna be like the original, right?
Yeah.
And like even Boondocks. Remember we grew up. I don't know if you watched.
Oh yeah,
Boondocks.
I watched Boondocks.
That was my show back in the day too. And
facts.
That was a.
But it's like all the remakes. It was like nobody really make like the remakes don't really be that good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or like they switch the animation so much that it's like ugly to
Yeah,
me. That's what,
yeah.
and that's like watching anime. I think that's another reason why I don't really like remakes so much, because watching anime, I realized like how much the animation and stuff like that matters to me. So it's like it can even be an anime. It can have like a dope storyline,
Dope,
and like
yeah.
where the animation trash, then I'm gonna lose interest.
Yeah.
So that's like with the remakes and stuff with me.
Okay. That's pretty dope. So, growing up in the 90s, food was a big thing.
25-cent bag of chips.
Bro, yep, that's exactly right. 25 cents. So, when I was growing up, I used to go downstairs to the bodega, and for $2.50, I would give me a roll, ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato, salt, pepper, oil, vinegar, with a 25-cent bag of chips, and then I could do like a quarter water or something. So about for $3, bro, you eat splendid, you know. So
Facts.
that was the good times. And then back then we had the dollar slice of pizza, so you know we was eating really good back in the day. And don't even get me started on like the kids meals, bro. The kids meals back in the day, bro, we had top tier, the toys and everything.
Oh
that
yeah,
we
the
had.
toys was like top tier.
Yo, 100%. Like, you know, one of the things that I told Kelly I was going like going read by. You remember? I think it was Burger King that had the Rugrat watches.
Oh,
Those were elite, bro.
I had the Reptar one.
The green one.
Yeah, I had the Reptar one.
I had the blue one, the Tommy one.
Oh yeah.
And I searched for that one yo. It got to a point where we started like because my grandma, man, she's always doing. I had started asking like, yo, just make sure you put the blue one in the bag. 'Cause we ended up with the whole collection, but it took a while to get the Tommy one. So, bro, that's a top tier, top tier right there. So another one too. I don't know if you remember this one. When Inspector Gadget was heavy. They had an Inspector Gadget this was at McDonald's. Every toy was a different body part.
And I had that. I had one.
So putting that together was like an adventure too.
Yeah.
I remember like even
that was my problem. My problem was I didn't mean to cut you off. My problem was like we went to Burger King,
right,
but not as much. So like when Inspector Gadget was out, it was like I had probably like one part.
Oh yeah, nah.
I had like one part. I think because then the arm stretch or something like that.
Yeah, the arm. I think one arm stretch,
Yeah,
one turned into a plier.
Yeah,
yeah. So the thing that we had to our benefit is that it was three of us. It was my sister and my brother. So we got 3 kids meals. So then we like, yo, make sure they're not the same. So we ended up getting like different different toys and stuff. But even the Happy Meals back then, bro, were elite. So.
Yeah, it was like just being born in the 90s and just growing up, bro. Like, I don't know how many times I can say that. Like, we just different.
Yeah, nah, it's different.
We just different, bro. Different. Like, all the Tide Pod babies came afterwards.
Yeah, nah, it's been different for sure. So, I know for me, man, like, even the music, like, I don't listen to new music anymore. So I listen to all old school music. There's like 2 new artists that I listen to, which is Roddy Ricch and Lil Baby, I want to say, with the dreads. Yeah, I think that's Lil Baby.
But you don't listen.
I don't listen to
A Boogie.
Nah, sometimes. Yeah, he's sometimes, yeah. But I mean, really, I don't listen to a lot of new music, bro. I just go back to the classics, and like Biggie, the best rapper of all time. Definitely, I gotta bump him.
Arguably.
Huh?
Arguably.
I mean, I feel like he was,
I don't know. I ain't really got, bro. See, that's the thing with me. I really don't have a best rapper all time. Like, I listen to, like, so much music. Like, when I listen to, like, every genre of music.
Yeah.
Like, if it catch my ear, then I'm listening to it. I'm going to download it.
Right.
Like, going a little bit off topic, like, the wedding I had to do over the weekend, they played Shabuzi bar song. It was a black wedding. No Shabuzi, he a black country artist.
Okay.
And that song is like, bro, when I tell you that song came on, and I was like, what is the DJ doing right now? I was like, these people ain't gonna really be tapped into this song.
I got you.
Man, like, everybody was singing that song. But that just goes to me, like, I was never like strictly into rap. Like I said earlier, I was like R&B and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I listen to Biggie. I listen to Pac. One of my favorite artists growing up. One of my favorite songs to this day is "I Need Love" by LL Cool J.
Yeah, that's a
So
dope song.
LL Cool J was like one of my favorite artists growing up.
Dope.
But yeah, like the music was different back then, and I still listen to new music now. You should listen to more new artists.
I'm gonna check it out. I just I guess for a long time it's like even when we was doing music, like my biggest thing was like lyrics and stuff like that, and that's always been important to me. So I really hadn't found nobody that really embodies that right now. So
I gotta send you the So now, Tory Lanez, he locked up.
yeah.
But I know you like Tory Lanez.
Yeah, that was my guy.
But he's dropping music from prison now.
Dope.
So like almost like, I believe he's been consistent with it. So like every week, it's I think it's the jail tapes, and then it's like the lost tapes. So the lost tapes are like stuff he recorded before he went in.
Okay.
The jail tapes are stuff that him and his engineer, and it's like great quality too for him to be in jail. And they recording that, and he putting it out like every week.
That's dope.
So that's some dope music you can listen to as far as new artists.
So is it something that do they let him get like the studio in the?
I don't know I don't think so. He kind of explained it, but he was like they tried a bunch of stuff, and like his engineers. Like him and the engineers finally figured it out or whatever like that. But I don't think it's like we land Tory Lanez go record in the studio or whatever like that.
Yeah,
but
free Tory Lanez, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Free my boy.
But yeah, man. Just like what was like if you could name, I'm not even gonna say like one thing, but if you can name like your top, like the very top, like the number one cartoon for you growing up, what would it be?
Oh, easy is Batman the animated series and / Batman Beyond. It used to come on WB after schools.
Okay.
So it played right after Superman. So I think it was right around like 5:30, I want to say, and 6 o'clock. So that for me, that's top tier. Like that was one of the ones. And if I had to go below that, I'll probably say X-Men. X-Men, because you got
X-Men, all right, X-Men 5.
Yeah, that was my like top tier. Gambit was my favorite mutant.
Bro, that's crazy. Cause I used to have an X-Men game. I used to love playing with Gambit on the game.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So when I was collecting comics, like I had a bunch of the key issues, and I had the first appearance of Gambit that Kelly had got me one year for my birthday. So I had a lot of key issues because when I was growing up back in that time too, I was going to work with one of my aunts. And she worked at a nail salon, and over there, you know how they have the newspaper stands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They had comic books there, so that's where I would get my comic books from every time I went. At least I would say maybe every other weekend. So I would definitely that's why I'm such a big comic book head too, is because I kind of grew up on that stuff. So I miss my comic book collection, bro. I sold it, man, but I sold it when I bought the car.
Yeah.
So that's man. But I had a whole bunch of key issues. I had like the first appearance of Deadpool. I had Spider-Man 300. I had a whole bunch of stuff, man, that I kind of regret it now. But it is what it is. It's too much for me to try to go back and collect now. So
it's never too late, man. It's never too late.
It's that I'm into so many other things now.
Oh, true.
That I'm just like, oh man, I've had it, but now it's new things and stuff like that. So. Super dope though. Batman Beyond probably my top tier.
I feel like a lot of people slept on Digimon so much growing up. I feel like a lot of people pushed Pokemon to the forefront and slept on Digimon so much.
Yeah.
Like Digimon was literally like Digimon, Sonic, was like one of my favorite two of my favorite shows growing up. But yeah, I feel like Digimon was slept on so much. It's just like stuff that I like growing up that before I got into like anime and stuff like that.
Right. So that was like your pre-anime. Yeah, I remember that. So I was into Digimon, but for maybe like the first 2 or 3 seasons. but then when they started changing up the cast and everything, it was new Digimon and stuff like that. That's kind of when I lost interest. I think, what was it? The first series. What is the one with the little blue one? The little when I think it's Ty. Ty's the first one. But the second one that got the goggles from Ty or whatever his name is.
I forgot.
But that's where I stopped watching right there.
I want to say, yeah. So you liked it with like Agumon and all that.
Yeah.
You ain't really watch for like who was it? Was it Beatamon? Something like that.
The red dinosaur looking one.
Yeah,
that's my brother, man. He kept watching after that.
Oh, okay,
like I lost interest. Even like Power Rangers.
Oh, was he blue? I think he was blue. Beatamon was blue.
Yeah. That's
Blue.
That's where I stopped. That was the
like
last
with the
series.
fusion and all
Yep,
that. Yeah,
with the eggs and stuff.
Yeah,
that's where I stopped.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that's for me, like kind of like Power Rangers too. Like I stopped after a while, because I felt like it was kind of repetitive at the same time.
Well, I watched Power Rangers all the way up to like Dino Thunder.
I think
was
for
it
me,
Dino? Yeah, Dino Thunder, because that's when Tommy came back
as the Black Ranger.
So
what?
he was older.
Perfect. So we getting into Power Rangers. What are your top 5 you think for Power Ranger seasons up until that point? Because that's kind of where I stopped watching too.
I mean, of course, OG Power Rangers.
Right.
When Tommy came in with the White Ranger. Mm-hmm. Well, he was the green, and then he went to white. I like the one. That's hard, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's hard. Cause it was like I watched all of them up until like Dino Thunder, but it was like OG was gonna always be top tier to me. When they went into space,
yep,
that was great to me. I guess the one when they was like the police cars or whatever like
SPD?
that. SPD.
That was
I like
that was
SPD.
my favorite, yeah.
Trying to think. I kind of like Dino Thunder, but yeah, like it was towards like y'all just need to stop making them.
Yeah.
After that,
they started running out of things to do.
I did like the fact that I don't like the fact that they didn't make a second movie, but as you know, like a few years ago, they made the Power Rangers movie. I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say the OG, like Power Rangers first came out, and then just going through, like you said, SPD, the one when they was in space.
Yeah.
And then it's another one too. It's one more I'm missing. I can't think of it right now.
All right, maybe come back to you. I'm gonna give you my list.
All right, go
so
ahead.
the OGs is fine. It's probably always gonna be there, but for me, it's Zeo. I like In Space. I like Ninja Storm.
Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was Ninja Storm.
Yep.
Ninja Storm was fire.
That was fire, bro.
Ninja Storm was fire.
SPD. And then if I had to probably pick another one that was kind of like different, was Wild Force. That was
I like Wild Force too.
Because remember they used to collect the little orbs with the animals and put them in the.
I like Wild Force too.
Yep. So that's probably my top 5 right there. And honorable mention would probably be what is the one before In Space would be Turbo, because I'm into cars and stuff like that.
Oh, that was when the Blue Ranger was my favorite one.
Justin,
on that one.
Yeah. So that was top tier, man. So good list, bro. I appreciate that list. So.
Nah, that was fire.
Yeah.
But before we switch topics, now the movie. I keep bro. See, cause it's so many movies, bro. But I was a huge Ninja Turtles fan.
Oh, same.
Oh, and veering away from like heroes and stuff, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, okay.
So
I wasn't really on Alvin.
Bro, like, I'm gonna tell you how I got on Alvin and Chipmunks. They used to do like this, like, little yard sale thing in Alval at the fire department. And this was when, like, VHS was, like, popping or whatever like that.
Okay.
It wasn't no DVD, it was VHS. And I was going through the movies and I seen Alvin and the Chipmunks. This was, like, bad animation Alvin and the Chipmunks. And like I just like fell in love with Alvin and Chipmunks, fell in love with like Ninja Turtles, and all that stuff. So it was like, it was so many great stuff.
Yeah, no, bro. Like I remember like even like one that people don't really remember anymore, but the Beetleborgs. That was one of my favorite shows too.
Oh my God.
Yo, the Beetleborgs was fire back in the day.
That was like
Because it was like a spin-off
Spin-off
of
of
Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah.
That was like Power Rangers.
Yeah, it
So,
was
yeah.
it was dope. So, nah, man, it was definitely a great time, man. I still go back and watch some of the episodes from from time to time and stuff like that. But a lot of great stuff came out of that era. So,
Bro, I did. Definitely did.
so let me ask you this though. We talked about Pokemon a little bit. Were you collecting Pokemon cards and stuff like that?
I did. I'm gonna tell you why I stopped. They got wet and started and stuck together.
Dang, that turns you off from
And
it.
then I got into Yu-Gi-Oh.
That was my wave too.
So
bro.
yeah, so then I started collecting. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but it was like I couldn't keep it. It was like then it was like remember the first episode of the podcast. I was like two different sides of me. Like I was still that nerdy type of guy,
Right.
but I was still like with all the cool people
Though,
and stuff
though,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it was like
So you always been diverse. That's crazy. Yeah.
So that just been me, bro. Like, cause I collected Pokemon cards, I collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I never like battled with them.
Yeah.
Beyblade.
I was gonna say I wanted to get into that.
Another show that I liked growing up was Metabots.
I seen it, but I never actually.
That's
checked
like
it out.
more so on like the anime side, but it was like for real, bro. I was like, and then it's stuff like I was watching anime before I knew it was anime. I never knew Pokemon was considered anime.
Yeah, that's true.
Like growing up,
Yeah.
like I just was like it's American.
So were you big into like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that too?
Yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna tell you when I stopped liking Dragon Ball Z when they did Gohan dirty. They hyped Gohan up so much to be like he's supposed to be stronger than Goku
For the Cell Saga.
Yeah,
Yep.
so like then after that was like nah. I guess the majority of the fans they want Goku, so we gonna
Keep
make
it rolling,
Gohan
Yeah.
a little punk afterwards.
Gohan's always been my favorite.
Yeah, like-
followed by Trunks. Yeah, those were two of my favorite. I can remember coming back from school and the new episode playing and all you would how it started was because they'd be powering up for like 30 minutes, bro. Easy.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. So
Bro, it used to be like episodes like you get home, try to watch a new episode, and it's like they just talk. Then you gotta
Yeah.
wait, like, bro, it'd be like 3 episodes pass and they ain't even fight.
for
yet.
real, just to get to a battle scene, bro, is crazy. So, I definitely I remember Yu-Gi-Oh. Who was your guy? Were you a Yu-Gi guy or were you a Kaiba guy?
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. So
I was
who
a
was
Yu-Gi guy.
your? I guess so. When you were collecting, when you were making your deck and stuff like that, who was your ace in your deck?
So I wasn't like, alright. So I had the Red Eyes.
Okay. So you had Joey's deck.
I had Joey Ace card.
Okay.
I never got like I did have one of I had two of the parts to like the big
Exodia?
The Exodia. I
Yeah.
had like an arm and I had a leg.
That
But
was
I
real
never
back
got
in
like
the
the
day.
rest.
Bro, that was
And that's
top
just
tier.
because like I was like juggling everything
Yeah.
at the time. So it was like I was into it, but I was also into this type of stuff. So it was like I never really dove deep into it.
Okay.
But I wish I did, bro.
Yeah.
'Cause I would see like the Caucasian kids in the back of the class
Playing and stuff?
like
Yeah.
that, and I just be like,
Yeah.
I want to. But
So I kind of was like that too. I was like, I really didn't, bring that side of me to school or anything like that. But for me, Dark Magician's always been my ace.
Oh yeah.
So I love like what you was able to do with him. Like that's always been my favorite character. But obviously Blue Eyes is my next
Blue Eyes
favorite.
White Dragon.
Yeah, Blue Eyes White Dragon. So top tier. What about Beyblades? Did you have any Beyblades when you were growing up?
I had one Blade. I had the stadium, like the little bowl,
dish?
the little dish.
Yeah.
I had all that growing up. I think I watched like the first Beyblade, and then they did like another one.
Yeah.
So I watched both of those.
So out of the Blade Breakers, who was your favorite?
It's been a while. It's been a long time, so I don't even know the character names.
Okay, so who was your favorite?
I always been
top.
a main character person on
So
shows.
you like what was his name? I forgot what his name was. We gotta circle back.
But it was the one with the. It was the one I think he had like the blue hair.
Yeah,
like it was either blue or like purple or something like that.
Yeah, Dragoon. Whoever had Dragoon, that was him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my favorite was I liked him, but I like Ray because he had Drigger.
Okay,
The white tiger.
Yeah.
That bro, like so.
Oh,
Yo,
I forgot about
shout out
that.
to my grandma, man, because she bought me all the blade
Yo,
breakers.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yep. So I had Drasil, which was the green one.
Mm-hmm.
I had two versions of it, and
I had the green one.
yeah,
I had the green one.
Okay, so there's two green ones.
Okay.
I had both. So I'm gonna ask you. So I remember when I think I was going to PS 182 in New York. We would go outside for recess and everything like that. And we would just be playing with Beyblade. So there was a Drasil that had a metal ball at the bottom, and there was one that just had a plastic tip.
I think I had the plastic. You know.
That was like the top tier elite one. That thing
Yeah.
did not stop spinning, bro. So definitely one of my favorite things, man. So see, we getting super nostalgic right now, bro.
Hey, we is, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I love it. I love it. So, all right. So we move forward. Let's say mid '90s, early 2000s. What kind? Were you watching sports at that time as well?
It's crazy. I wasn't really watching sports, but I was playing sports games.
Okay.
So like, and I'll tell anybody this story. How I became a Patriots fan is because I really didn't know no NFL teams, but whenever I played like the football game or whatever like that, Madden, with like G2 and them, I'll pick the Patriots solely based off the color.
Okay.
And like ever since then, that was like the Patriots been my favorite team. Like, cause that was like it was like, who you picking? Red, white, and blue.
Respect, yeah. Nah.
So it was like, yeah.
dope.
So that's how the Patriots became my favorite team. That's crazy.
So at the time where, I guess that you were playing that, was Tom Brady already there? Because I think Tom Brady, he got drafted early 2000s, I think.
He wasn't starting.
Okay, so he was on the team, but he wasn't starting.
he wasn't starting.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, that's dope, bro. I remember I used to play like I think it was NBA Jam. I used to play a lot too back in the day.
NBA Jam, yeah, NBA Jams. You had wait, was NBA Jam with the ball catch on fire?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Actually,
NBA Jam.
it's inspired by this funk
Okay,
right?
yeah. That's what's up.
So definitely, yeah, man, really dope time. So
Do you ever play Slugfest growing up?
yeah, the baseball one.
game?
Yeah.
Bro, I used to love that.
Yeah.
I used to just.
Yeah, that was dope, bro.
I used to like pick out just to get the ball and punch somebody.
Yeah, I used to play that, and I used to play. How I got into baseball, believe it or not, was I was watching. Everybody in New York was obviously Yankees fans, Mets fans, everything like that. So you take a liking to it. But how I got into baseball was MLB. I don't even think it was used to be called The Show.
It wasn't the show.
But what was
I know what
it?
you're talking about, but it wasn't the show back there.
Yeah,
I can't think of it. But
It was for PlayStation. It was a baseball game. And that's how I got into it. I remember you had to time it right and stuff like that. That's how I got into baseball though. And Derek Jeter's always been my favorite Yankee of all time.
GOAT.
Shout out to El Capitan.
It's been him and A-Rod for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A-Rod. Yeah, that was a good duo right there, man. So, yeah, really good times. Really good times. So what kind of, I guess, when you guys were going out to eat and stuff like that, what were some of the places that you were going back in the 90s?
We spoke about this earlier, but my favorite spot, and you can ask my mama this, was Old Country Buffet.
Yo,
that was literally my favorite spot.
Like, I got to experience that.
I wanted that over everything. Like we go, where was it? It was in Petersburg or Colonial Heights.
Colonial Heights, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them. I think it was Colonial Heights, like across from the mall.
Yeah, you know where
what the seafood
place is now,
so it was like right there, I believe. I used to love that place. My first time eating there, I wanted to eat there again. Like every time we went up there, I was like, "We going to Old Country Buffet?"
Yeah, dope.
I think I even like they wanted to go out to eat for my birthday one time. I was like, they were like, "Where you want to go?" I was like, "Old Country Buffet."
Yeah, that was a dope spot. We had Sizzlers in New York.
I think we had Sizzlers down here.
Yeah, so that was the spot. And then when I moved here, I still got a chance to hit Old Country Buffet. It was probably one of my favorite restaurants when I moved over here. So
yeah,
good stuff. So I'm thinking about this time, and I told you about it earlier. One of the core memories that I have on Friday nights was going to Blockbuster. Going to Blockbuster was always an experience, man. And we used to rent, maybe 2 movies.
Facts.
And you had like the popcorn, like in the little show. So we bought the popcorn. We did the whole thing. And I just remember that because like every week, pretty much, we would go and pick out some movies and stuff like that. They would pick out, the adults would pick out a movie they wanted to watch, and then me and my sister would pick out a movie that we wanted to watch and stuff like that. So that was definitely a core memory. And RP to Blockbuster, man, definitely miss. I heard there's one left that they still have.
It is. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just maybe it's like a museum at this point.
For nostalgia.
Yeah, but I definitely want to go. Definitely want to go. So.
No, it's crazy because like it's crazy the evolution of that because like you had Blockbuster, and now I feel like Blockbuster kind of died out once like your town or local grocery store got Redbox.
Yeah.
And then Redbox kind of died out once
streaming,
streaming and stuff came.
Yeah.
Like we still got a Redbox in our hometown, but I
can't think of the last.
Because I remember we used to get movies from the Redbox. But I can't think of the last time I got a movie from the Redbox because like everything is like right there.
It's been a minute, bro. It's definitely been a minute. I was definitely I definitely want to go check that Blockbuster out though. It's definitely a core memory for me. So what were some of the series that you was watching back in those days and stuff like that? I have like 5 that are like elite for me, but for you, what were they?
When we talking about series, we talking about like what
drama? TV series?
TV series?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like a big cartoon person.
Okay.
So like I was watching everything on like Nickelodeon, Disney, Cartoon Network. I mean, I can go back. I can go back to like some PBS Kids stuff. It's slipping my mind. Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Sesame Street. Yep. I liked it. Shaolin Showdown.
That was one of my favorites, bro.
Shaolin Showdown was hard.
That was one of my favorites. And I don't know if you remember Jackie Chan Adventures. And Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that. But
No. I know it.
But that was elite, bro.
I didn't hear that in so long, bro. That's crazy.
I probably caught you off guard,
yes.
Bro. Yeah, that was definitely a top tier show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, those are like awesome cartoons. But also, so for me, I used to watch TV with my brother's dad, passed away, RP. That one of the shows that he got me watching was Friends. And that was one of my favorite shows till this day. Like anytime I have like a bad day or, I won't say a bad day, but like I'm, kind of just want to start reliving those moments. I go back and I watch it. Cause it was definitely a dope time. Cause it took place in New York. So obviously it holds near and dear to my heart. But that was like probably my top tier. And then right below it is going to be Martin and Fresh Prince. Dope. And then I have to, for the purposes of like rounding it out, Full House. I don't know if you watch Full House, but that was one of the shows.
So like Full House and stuff like that came like when like late at night when like Nigga Night came on and stuff like that. So I did watch that stuff. I even watched the Cosby Show.
I never got into it.
Okay, so like my all-time favorites like human series would be Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, Fresh Prince.
So that was like my all-time favorite right there.
Yeah, that's
Will Smith is like the greatest actor of all time. He's cleared Denzel Washington already.
Yeah, he's big time, bro. He's big time. I definitely I was glad to see that the slap didn't it didn't really derail his career.
I'm glad Uncle Will bounced back from the slap.
Yo,
man.
and watching Bad Boys 4,
yeah,
bro, that movie was epic, man. And I definitely think that that hopefully they make a 5 because I feel like they still got some stories to tell. But yeah, so that was a dope time for series as well. So
facts.
Yeah. So we're about 49 minutes in, bro.
Yeah, dang, we 90s, bro. Like growing, like being a 90s era kid, like.
Yo, you remember the buffet at Pizza Hut?
I did.
Look at me bringing that big bag energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, But the buffet at Pizza Hut used to be top tier too, bro. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, tell me not, bro. Yeah.
Nah.
Hey, yo.
That's good. You know, you can't even like most of the Pizza Huts, they don't even let you eat inside no more.
No, they don't. Yeah, they got it closed off.
Yeah,
but I did hear
crazy.
they was trying to bring it back. You know, I don't really eat pizza like that no more.
COVID ruined a lot.
It did. Yeah, it did.
But we gonna switch topics right quick.
What's
man.
up?
Giving advice to people.
Mm-hmm.
What are your pros and what do you think the cons are? Or I can lead off if you want.
Whatever you want. I mean, if you ask me, I'm very cautious when it comes to like a life altering decision, because if something goes wrong, I don't want it to come back on me and say, "Yo, you gave me bad advice." I guess it just depends on the topic, right? But you know, and it depends. Like if it's a person that I know, like if you was to ask me, like, "Yo, bro, what should I do on this?"
Yeah,
I'll probably be like, "Yo, I think you should do this," regardless of what the consequence is. I'm just thinking like, okay, best case scenario. But if something goes left, I know my boy's not gonna be like, "Yo, bro, you gave me bad advice." You know,
facts.
Just charge it to the game. So yeah, I'm definitely cautious of just giving that advice. Honestly. So what about you?
Me, bro, like I hate to say it like this, but I like giving people advice when they ask me advice. But I also like to be like straight up with them, like 100%. Like I'm not gonna give you no yes man advice.
Yeah.
So I think that's where like the con is. It's like I'm gonna give you the advice, but you may not like what I gotta say.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I'm not gonna say no names or nothing like that, but it got to a point where like somebody like these two people was coming to me all the time getting advice, and I was trying to steer them down the right road. But you give advice and you give advice, and then they don't follow the advice,
Right.
and then something happened, and then it's like you said, like they try to make it seem like it's your fault.
Right.
It's like, all right, if you felt this way, stop coming to me,
Nah,
because like I can only give you so much advice, and
Right.
if you don't take it or use or utilize it, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So for me now, it's like, unless you close to me and you see how like I'm moving, then, well, if you close to me and you see how I'm moving, then that's your advice.
I got you.
Because I feel like, not saying that I'm in front of nobody or like that,
Right.
but like to certain people, it's like, I'm trying to say this like the most polite way ever. It's like you got a blueprint.
Okay.
So like to some people, it's like, okay, now I can say names. It's like my homeboy Trey.
Okay.
I don't know why the mic is not fucking with me.
Pull it
Mic-
all the way up. There you go.
That joint is not liking me today. But my homeboy Trey, for instance,
Right.
they moved in with us.
Okay.
Then they got their own spot.
Okay.
But like every time we get together, stuff like that, we chop it up. He'd be like, "Yo, I'm so appreciative of you," or whatever like that, because
That's
like
dope, bro.
you really like showed me.
Right.
Like I didn't have to tell him anything. It was just like he watched and then he got the blueprint.
Dope.
And now like he going on his journey and stuff like that. And like that's all I really want for people, bro. Like if I'm and like that goes like if I see you doing something, I'd be like, how he get there? I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna study. I can ask you questions, but it's like you got the blueprint. If I follow the blueprint exactly, then that's the advice you can give me. But a lot of people, they don't want to follow the blueprint. They want to take their own.
You brought up
route.
a good point, and I always say this too,
Yeah.
because this is one of my top tier things. You don't take advice from somebody that's not doing it, right?
Facts.
So, like when you talk about taking financial advice from somebody that's horrible with money, that's the wrong thing to do.
Facts.
So that's always been my thing, bro.
Only thing you can tell me is how not to spend.
Yeah, and I will say that people that have approached me and they're like, "Yo, this person gave me this advice." I'm like, based on what? They don't got. If they not doing it, why would you take that advice? That's
Facts.
dumb. So that's a really solid point. So and I kind of learned like that too, bro. I kind of learned what not to do by watching others.
Other people, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
so
that's how I am.
That's solid, bro. But yeah, so that's always my thing, man. It's just kind of, and be careful who you surround yourself with too, because some people might give you bad advice intentionally, believe it or not, right? Because they don't want to see you move to that next level. So you always got to be wary of that too, man. So, I want to give a shout out. It's 54 minutes. We almost done. I want to give a shout out to Jerica.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jericho.
Bro, every time we post, man, she's sharing. And everybody else that shares the post, man, I
We appreciate it.
definitely appreciate it. But her, man, she's every time, man, she's on it.
Shout out to my homeboy Jericho.
Shout out to her, man. So, but again, thank you to everybody that's watching. Hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Like I said, let us know down below anything that you want us to talk about as we move forward. So if you want to see, us talk about, the 2000s, or if you want to see us talk about, different movies and whatever it is, even I thought maybe in the next episode we could do like our essentials, like our, top essentials of things.
Oh,
that we,
yeah, like things that we need.
Yeah. So something like that. But yeah, definitely, again, appreciate everybody watching, man. I don't have much else. What you got?
Before we go, we was talking about the 90s. So, anime, I'm gonna give you 3.
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop, classic.
I heard it. Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin, classic. I gotta start speaking on it, but it'll always be my favorite anime. That's Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
That was a classic. Also, if you like Yu Yu Hakusho, you might like Hunter x Hunter. It's not technically the same, but it's by the same creator.
That's so. Can I throw one in there too?
Yeah.
One that I used to watch when I was a kid was Monster Ranch.
Monster Ranch?
Yeah. I don't know if people ever watched that, but that was a dope one. I used to love that show.
Yeah, I fought with it.
Yeah, so.
But as far as like new gen, I'm gonna throw some new gen right quick. Tokyo Revengers is dope. I think I spoke on Windbreaker before, but Windbreaker is dope. I'm tired of saying it every episode, but bro, Wanting with Story was so good this week, bro. Like, you gotta watch it, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it. It was so good this week.
I gotta tap in, bro.
Mob Psycho 100. It took me forever to watch it, but when I watched it, I fell in love with it. If you love baseball, watch Ace of Diamond.
Okay.
Shout out to Travis. He brought it to my attention. I think it was like 3-4 seasons, maybe like 2 long seasons, or I think it was like 3 seasons, 3 or 4. But I literally will watch that every day. I binge watched it like every day. Like, I'm literally watching like 20 episodes.
Damn.
I think I watched it in like 3-4 days.
That's crazy. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
One more I'm gonna throw out there, and I'm trying to throw out one. I'm gonna throw out one that don't nobody really think about. If you're into skateboarding, cause I say it's an anime out there for everybody.
Wow.
Skate to Infinity.
Dang. I didn't even know they had. Okay. That's dope.
So like that's a dope one. And the last one I'm gonna throw out there, and then I'm gonna end the anime is what it's called, Akudamu Drive. If you like fighting anime, watch Akudamu Drive. It was dope. I literally seen it because I was like trying to find anime to watch, and then I watched it, and then next thing you know, like a month later, like everybody was talking about it.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's like I felt like
it blew up. Yeah,
I felt like I blew it up.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, man. But top in, and if y'all don't want to wait for episodes or whatever like that, and like you know me or like you know my social media or whatever like that, and you just want to know some anime or what anime to try to get into anime, just let me know, bro. Like, I'll love to give advice. I love to take advice. Like, if you got some anime that you think I should watch, send it my way.
Dope.
Oh, sorry. I'm so
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Watch Attack on Titan. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Attack on Titan is dope.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do know about that.
Attack on Titan is fire.
I'm gonna start giving some comic book recommendations too in the future.
Facts,
So
definitely.
dope. So again, guys, if you're still watching, we appreciate you guys tapping in with us. We catch us again next week, and who knows what we're gonna talk about next. So, as always, man, we appreciate you guys watching. God bless.
Yeah, man. Before she cut me off this week, because she cut me off last week, get money, drink water, and watch more anime. Peace.
We out.